Alright, we're going to talk about using zeros to solve a quadratic equation. We're not really going to get into a whole lot of this. They're going to give us what we need to know on these, but it is important to know that the zero of a function is an x value that makes the value of the function 0. So it's going to be the ones where our output, our y, is 0. Zeros of the functions are the x-intercepts of the graph of a function. And it may have 1, 2, or no zeros at all. You may not get a 0 at all, and you should be able to tell that by the shape of the graph. So quadratic equations can be solved by graphing the function of the equation. To write the related function, rewrite the quadratic so that it equals 0 on one side. So that's all we need to know. I'm going to go to 239. And we're going to take this right here, we're going to add x squared to both sides. So if I add x squared to both sides, right, I've got x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0, right? The related function is y equals x squared plus 6x plus 8. So what we're just basically going to do is we're going to plug in points. So if I plug in -5, so if I do -5, so if I set a function of -5, let's see, -5 squared is 25, plus 6 times -5, so that's -30, plus 8, which gives me 3. I set a function of -4, so here we go. -4 squared is 16, minus 24, plus 8, well there's a 0 right there. If I do a function of -3, and I'm just plugging it into these guys right here. So look, -3 squared is 9. 6 times -3 is -18 plus 8. And that's what, -1? I have an idea that this is going to also be a 0. So if we do it, ready? -2 squared is 4. -2 times that is -12 plus 8. Sure enough, that's 0 again. And that tells me that there's our low part right here. So that's going to end up being a 3. Watch. F is -1. Here we go. -1 squared is 1. 6 times -1 is -6 plus 8. And sure enough, it's 3 again. So graph the equation represented by these tables. Here we go. Let's see. We got, where's our center? -3, which is right about here, -1. I got -4, 0, and -2, 0. We got -3, 3, and -1, 3, and it looks like that. And our intercepts are what's important, alright? The zeros of the function are -4 and -2. So the solutions of the equation are x equals -4 and -2. Those are solutions. Well, how would it look if it had 1 0? Well, I'll show you them all. Here's 2 zeros, right? Where it crosses like this. Here's 1 0. It would just touch on the vertex like that, right? If that was the x-intercept. Here's 0 zeros. If that was it, right? It doesn't ever have a 0, right? It's above or below the line. Your turn. Well, let's add 3. Plus 3 plus 3. We get x squared minus 4. Well, that's not -4, that's -1 equals 0. Okay, actually we know this graph, that's also standard form. So watch, I know what to plug in. We're going to plug in, here's x and y. We're going to plug in 0. 0 squared, so the equation is y equals x squared minus 1. I plug in 0, 0 squared is 0, minus 1 is -1, so we got 0, -1, which is right about here. We're going to plug in 1. 1 squared is 1, minus 1 is 0, so 1 is 0. I'm going to plug in -1. -1 squared is 1, minus 1 is 0. Alright, so I actually have my 2 solutions already. I'm done. I'm going to graph them. Solutions. X equals -1, x equals 1, and we're done. Go back with this next page, and I'll be right back with you.